Hello and welcome. Are you aware of what is going on in Nigeria as it is today? Because I've always seen the politics of Nigeria as a game, and it has always been a game. The problem with us from the southeast is we've refused to see it as a game and play it exactly the way it is. Way back in 2015, when we were warning Nigerians about what is going to the impending happenings, a lot of people didn't take us seriously. People felt we were just, excuse me, we were being sentimental. I know of people who said perhaps maybe we are corrupt or have stealing tendencies in our blood. That's why we're supporting, we were not supporting the current administration. But we knew better because experience, they say, is the best teacher. Now, let me tell you what is going on. A lot of you don't know what is going on. First, when Goodluck Jonathan came, the whole plan of the Islamization process was derailed, was totally derailed, with churches in Aso Rock, church program being aired on television program for everybody to see. Before the advent of Goodluck Jonathan or Obasanjo, you could see our NTA or our television broadcast is always Babariga. So the emergence of Jonathan and Obasanjo gave a reprieve of where we begin to see that Nigeria indeed has other cultures than the Babariga. Before then, the only time you could see that Nigeria is a blend of different cultures is perhaps when we have representative at the Olympics or World Cup. That's when you begin to hear names like Olusegun, Akpan, Chinedu, and all of that. You remember one time in our Super Eagles when they insisted that they must have another name, which brought about the advent of Tijani Babangida. But that's not the subject of today's video. Today's video is on the trend of what is coming and where it is going, because we are not very good at permutating or calculating the permutation of the political events as they are unfolding. When these people came, it was clear that the objective was to position Nigeria where a tiny group, a tiny minority of a certain group in Nigeria becomes the dominant factor in Nigeria, whereas the rest of us become subservient to them or slaves to them. And what were the plans to do about that? The first thing was to take out the military generals from the south. That was done. If you take a stock of our generals today, you could see that we have very few of them representing the south. And that's a very, very dangerous position we should all be scared of. A very, very dangerous position. And then what was the next thing? There was a time that we had a lot of terrorist groups that were incarcerated, and they were released and put back into the military with the guys that they've been rehabilitated, and they're no longer going to do that. But you could see that from that point till today, you could see that the spate of terrorism has increased tremendously. So what is actually happening here is this. You see, this game is like a football match. And whether you like it or not, that is how it's a bit. They say politics is a game. And it is a game between the caliphate and the Igbo race. Now, why am I saying so? Even the Igbo race do not know exactly why the pressure from the caliphate to ensure that they become nothing is there. But I'm going to explain this to you. The only race that can thwart the Islamization process or the Islamization metamorphosis are the Igbos. You take the Igbo out, then the life of the agenda can be stretched. So it's like a football match. On this side of the pitch is the caliphate. On this side of the pitch is the southeast, captained by the Igbo race. Now, follow me gently, because the analogy, I would have loved to have a sketch on a piece of paper, on a map, or on a cardboard paper, just to illustrate what I'm doing, but then I really don't have time for that. So I hope with mere vocal analysis, I will be understood greatly. So this is it. And then we have a referee in the middle, and the referee is the Yorubas. The middle belts are the spectators. And you know, in every football match, spectators would like to cheer the winning team. Now, what we have right now is the caliphate, who have already had an arrangement with the referee, and that's the Yoruba. They already have an arrangement with the Yoruba. Like, in this match, always support us. If we make a foul, look the other way. If we have a red card, don't blow red card. But at any point in time where the other team makes a little foul, they blow. For those who understand the football match very well, that is exactly what is going on. Now, what is happening? Now, things have fast forwarded. The arrangement between the caliphate and the referee has been usurped. So what we have right now is the referee understanding that the arrangement before this match that they have is no longer sustainable, because in the agenda of the caliphate, the referee too is also a victim here. So what is happening here is that the referee has understood that in this arrangement, it is of no beneficial to him. Hence the advance of the arrival of Amotekun. Now, I'm going to make another video to arrange why this side is winning this side. The reason is that the players on this side, they have different jerseys. They are not wearing, that's the team Igbo. And when I mean Igbo, I'm not meaning the Igbo as a tribe. I mean team Igbo as every other person there. The Robo Shekiri, Ijo, everybody, Edo, everybody there. So we are all putting on different jerseys. There's Edo jersey, Ijo jersey, Urobo jersey, Igbo jersey, and everybody. So nobody wants to wear the same jersey and play together as a team. Excuse me. So when the match is going on, because you have your teammate in a different jersey, there's a likelihood that you're going to play the ball to your opponent. Of course, a team without a uniform jersey, of course, will be so much in disarray, and that is what is going on. So in another video, I'm going to elaborate the things that makes us, the different type of jerseys we are wearing, that is making it impossible for us to be coordinated as a team. And let me quickly say here that for those who are in the habit of pointing fingers, no, our Costa brothers are the problem. Look, let me tell you, I will say this over and over again. We are all complicit in this problem. Everybody has a problem. I'm going to do that in another video. If you want a video where it is said that you don't have a problem, it is those that have a problem, sorry, you will not get that type of video from me, because I strongly believe in my heart that we are all complicit in this. And one of the basic reasons is because we are not playing this game the way it should be played. Before now, you have to get the referee to be on your side, which is the Yoruba people. But now, the referee and the caliphate have, their relationship have been severed. So what ordinarily we should have done now is to, get this referee to our side. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. But what are we doing? It's like we still enjoy the picture of having different jerseys on our own side of the football pitch. We are very comfortable. As a matter of fact, when I go on the internet, the people who quarrel with themselves most are we, the Southeasterners. I hardly see any quarrel between North and South. It is we. So it has gotten to a point whereby we enjoy it. But this video in particular is targeted at something that I've noticed. Now, when Amotekun came, of course, the immediate reaction was a complete rejection from the caliphate, that they don't want it. And many abductions were propounded that it's going to threaten the unity of Nigeria, as if there was any unity in the first place. It's going to threaten the unity of Nigeria. Now, the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable, with a statement that is most times laughable to me. You get me? So there was an immediate attempt to reject it. Now it is becoming very clear that Amotekun has come to stay, which I honestly pray it comes to stay, and I believe it has come to stay. That is the first block of pulling the influence of the caliphate down, Amotekun. So what do we do? I think the thing we should do is to begin to pull the other blocks out. And how do we need to pull it out? Now, what is happening from you need to watch the transition of the reaction from the caliphate. Their first reaction is to massively reject it. That has failed. Now, if you've been watching the news, you could notice that they've come up with Operation Shege Kapasa. Shege Kapasa. A security outfit to replace Amotekun, in the like of Amotekun, sorry. Now, you need to understand how these people think. You need to understand how they think. And you can only get that from what they churn out from them. What is Shege Kafasa? Let's take the word. Shege in Hausa means bastard. Kapasa means you have given up. Now, if you add Shege Kapasa, that means bastard, you have given up. You could see a name like that is more out of anger, frustration, desperation, and mischief. Because I wonder how you will give a security outfit the name Shege Kapasa, bastard, you have given up. What does that mean? It absolutely relates to nothing. It has no security nomenclature. It has no nomenclature that is in consonance with the realities on ground vis-a-vis the security challenges that we have. So that too is funny, because you cannot be setting a security outfit for the insecurity that you are responsible for. I hope you get me. Let me repeat that again. You are setting up a security outfit for the insecurity you are responsible for. Makes no sense to me. The only thing you can do to put security for is to stop the insecurity that you are responsible for. Then we'll have security everywhere. You are responsible for the caliphate. You can use any kind of English to circumvent or circumnavigate the truth. But the truth still remains that the core north is responsible for the insecurity that we find ourselves. So, the only way, the best insecurity you can be establishing now is to simply stop it. Say, Operation, we have decided to stop insecurity. That is the one you should be selling us, not Operation Shege Kapasa, Operation Bastard. You have stopped. What does that mean? So the next move that they are coming up with now, which is the very purpose of this video, is the constitutional review by the Senate. If you are watching the Senate, clearly you can know that the leadership of the Senate is loyal to the leadership of the Federation and leadership of APC. There is no clear-cut distinction between partisan loyalty, between partisanship and tackling the reality on ground. So the whole idea of a constitutional review by the Senate as it is a mockery on our collective intelligence. It's a huge mockery on our collective intelligence. And to my Eastern brothers, for anybody subscribing to that, even though they will tell you that my brother Chief Omar Gege is the what is it again, chairman of that committee, it is still a huge joke, because these are people that cannot raise a finger to tell the commander-in-chief that you are wrong here and we need to change this. They are not the people who can do that. So what kind of constitution will you be expecting from this kind of setup? So we've had different, if you are really serious, we had a constitutional conference that we did, and everybody accented to, and everybody agreed that such a system can enable us to live together. So why spend money to go into a constitutional review when you already have a constitutional conference that was established in the past and was agreed by all? If you have a constitutional review that said grazing, open grazing should be stopped, will you agree to it? No, you won't. Will you agree to state police? No. Will you agree that seaports should be open in Calabar and Warri and the rest? No. International airport in the east? No. You won't. So, because the truth is this, if Nigeria works structurally as it should be, the North will be shortchanged and they will become our slaves, because they spent over 50 years of independence not enhancing themselves. They are the ones without the skills. They are the ones without the education. In entertainment, you don't find them. In sports, you don't find them. In commerce, you don't find them. In economics, you don't find them. Even in the politics that they claim they have, they've only contributed in bringing down and slowing down the development of this country, because they have not matured to the point where they grow above tribal sentiments or religious sentiments. All they know is that Nigeria should be ruled by a Muslim. That's why you hear phrases like Nigeria, say Malam. So people with that kind of mentality cannot rule a country to development. What is this administration doing? Only to borrow, borrow, borrow. We don't have any structure on ground that yields finances to rule the country. I want to tell you that whoever is coming in after this administration will be shocked at the humongous amount of debts that he is going to meet. So it's a precarious situation here. It's a very, very precarious situation here. Like I said, mine is just to expose the scenario. So everything the caliphate is doing now is purely out of desperation. The only thing now that will put the final nail in the coffin of this hydra-headed agenda that is hell-bent on bringing the nation down is if the Southeast gets its act right. I've said it and I'll say it again, that the mentality that the Igbos want to be on their own, the Kala just want to do their own thing, the Urhobos want to do their own thing, the Edos want to do their own thing, every ethnic nation, they want to do things on their own. We will keep, all the caliphate needs to do is just to enter, because I made the parable of the bread, that if you throw bread to the chicken, the chicken must have to scatter it so that it can pick it in bits. What we are simply doing in that place is that we are making ourselves bits in the normal size that the chicken can come in and pick. So the caliphate is like the chicken. It just walks into our region, picks us up, because we have decided to make ourselves as crumbs. But if we come together, we'll become that strong bread that will be too big for the chicken to scatter. Anytime the chicken intends to break us into pieces, we become resilient enough to say, no, we want to remain one. Anybody that is not supporting the concept of coming together to form a big block is only being mischievous with his whole idea, with any idea of struggling for freedom that he claims to do. Whatever struggling you are doing in that region, if it does not contain the concept of unity among tribal nations in that region, you are a hypocrite, and God will call you to answer for your hypocrisy. I'd like to say thank you very much. My own job is just to reveal the common sense that we need to have and get ourselves into this terrible mess. Thank you very much.